The use of the internet and other computer network has explosive growth in recent years. Any crime might involve devices that interact over the internet or a network. Illegal activity, it can be easily committed or aided through the internet. Criminals can trade and share information, must co-conspirator, conceal their identity, assume another identity, identify and gather information on victim, distribute information or misinformation, and coordinate meeting site or pass a drug. Website, electronic mail, chat room, and file sharing network can all yield evidence in an investigation on computer-related crimes. Network investigation is a sub-branch of digital forensics that involves the monitoring, investigate, and analyze of all data traffic passing across a network suspected of the purpose of information collection, legal evidence, or instruction detection. Its goal is to find out the causes and impact of cyber attack by capturing, recording, and analyzing network packets and audit files to determine the source of network security attack. Unlike other fields of digital forensics, network investigators deal with volatile and dynamic data information. Network information can be performed for many purposes with hundreds of data source types. Analysts may use several different tools regularly, each well suited to certain scenarios. Network forensics analysis tool (NFAT) typically provide the same functionality as packet signal, protocol analyzer, and SEM software in a single product. NAFT software is primarily concerned with collecting, examining, and analyzing network traffic. It also offers additional features that make network forensics easier. It helps to categorize zero-day threats and can monitor user activity, business transactions, and system performance.
So today I want to talk about two types of network storage device, which is a network attached storage or NAS and storage area network or SAS. So first we're going to NAS. NAS is a storage devices that connected to a network to allow data in NAS to be accessed. Using network, using NAS, you can share files from other devices to other devices. This is a central location for authorized network users to access it anywhere by using the devices such as smartphone, computers, and tablet. This NAS typically used by small companies to store the data and sometimes used by individuals to make it as a private cloud. So the difference between storage area network. Storage area network is a network storage devices that are connected to each other and to a server or cluster of servers, which act as an access point to SAN. In some configuration, SAN also connected to network. SAN is a storage device that stores data with a very large capacities and usually used by large companies as a data center or server. And due to many companies use SAN as a server or store data, cyber attacks involving SAN often occurs, and investigation on large companies that using SAN is a complex and limited process. This because sometimes the SAN need to be used by the companies for 24 hours, and at the same time we need to conduct an investigation. Usually network investigation, we use Wireshark as tools to monitor or analyze the packet and traffic in the network to find a suspicious packet or traffic network.
Okay, next I will be talking about the 3-step in tracing an IP address or domain name. Okay, given the scenario that a citizen may claim that while surfing the internet, he came across a website that he believes should be looked at by law enforcement. The citizen provides the website name of www.nist.gov. Okay, the first step is to resolve the domain name of www.nist.gov to an IP address. Many commercial software tools are available to assist an investigator in resolving domain name into IP address. In addition, many publicly available websites will resolve domain names. Some of the more commonly used websites including the following stated at the slide. Okay, the next step is to determine and record the domain name registration information. The following online resource can be used to obtain registration information, such as stated in the slide. Okay, the third step is to determine the appropriate parties to contact or serve legal process depending on the facts of the investigation. Warrants, court orders, or subpoenas are typically required to release exact end-user information to law enforcement. Many of these requirements are governed by the Electronic Communication Privacy Act (ECPA) and other applicable federal and state law. A preservation letter may assist in preserving information until proper legal requirement can be met. This request should specify the IP address and the date and time, including the time zone. The information that may be obtained from the ISP includes the subscriber information such as registered owner, address and payment method. The transactional information such as connection times, date and IP address used. When drafting legal process, the following sample language may be useful. However, the ISP may require another specific language, such as ISP account information, email address information, IP address information, domain name information, web page information, telnet session providers, point of presence (POP) information, and lastly, outgoing telephone record.
So investigative tools for detecting wireless, we have several tools that we call acrylic, Wireshark, RF detectors, wireless, and Kismet. RF detectors is a hardware that can detect all the wireless devices around us, like cameras, wireless microphone, and so on. Alright, today I want to show you about demonstrate you how to using Kismet. Kismet is a free tools that already has in Kali Linux. So today I want to show you how to use Kismet. So first we need to find our wireless card. Just type IPA, or we can use ifconfig. So this is my wireless graphic LAN 0, and Next, we need to type sudo monitoring len 0. Right, and we need to go to root, just type sudo su and edam len 0. Type kismet, open link, and then we go to a data source, enable data source, and here we go. All the wireless device has been detected by Kismet. These all are wireless from UPNN. The many wireless are from UPNN because I think the smoke detector because the UPNN smoke detector using wireless, so all the device has been here, and we can show the detail here. MAC address, manufacturers, type, Wi-Fi devices, and all the details is in here. So that's it.
There is two type of investigating tool. There is the world faster forensic imaging tool, which is DTGO ballistic imager. It is patented forensic imaging tool, the obvious choice when we need a complete physical image in time critical scenarios. Forensically copy hard disk drive in minutes, allowing non-technical users to be fully operational within 30 minutes of training overhead. Next is the rapid field-based digital forensic DTGO field triage, a portable digital forensics tool for field-based investigators to acquire and act on data captured from PCs, laptops, and servers. Deployed on a removable storage device, DTGO field triage plays an incredibly powerful forensics exploitation tool into the hand of non-technical investigators. The advantages of the DTGO ballistic imager is that first, it can achieve blistringly fast acquisition time using the subject machine to image itself out. Second, it can split the imaging process to multiple collectors, which is utilizing all available ports either in a live state or boot mode. The third one is it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. The fourth one is forensically sound with MID5, SHA1 and SHA256 validation. The fifth is it stops the extraction before completion without the risk of losing any data acquired up to the point. The sixth is it allows recovery of deleted data. The seventh, we need to remove the hard drive. And finally, it fits in your pocket. The advantages of the DTGO field triage. First, it is rapid automated triage solution. Second, provide alerts of suspicious item through a red, amber and green status. Third, it is highly configurable search profile. Fourth, it is quickly acquires usernames and passwords. Fifth, it is pocket size acquisition tool perfect for frontline agent. Sixth, it is intuitive interface that is easily operated by non-technical users. And the last one is it is patent pending technology.
Who is IP provide details about information that the IP that we search. For example, here we can put the IP address and look up, then the details gonna show us about where the IP came from, who has the IP, and what the IP location or client server that they use.
Okay, I will be explaining about the volatile data. Okay, as we know that volatile data is any data that is temporarily stored. It will be lost if power is removed from the device containing it. The live examination of the device is required to include volatile data within any digital forensics investigation. And lastly, about the volatile data is that it can exist within temporary sachet files, system files, and random access memory, also known as RAM.
Every investigation needs to be made carefully and cautiously. Before starting the scissoring, the investigator needs to get a warrant to avoid any problems that will occur, such as invasion of personal property. Next, make preparations for the investigation. Digital forensic investigator needs to make preparation such as identifying the nature of cases, location of crime scene, have an expertise in operating system, and prepare strategy for scissoring. Upon arrival at the crime scene, the first step to be taken is to ensure that all devices in control condition and not touched by unauthorized person. Next, as investigator, they need to make a note on their diary or C note, record and take a pictures of each crime scene to be used as evidence to be taken to the lab. After that, investigator needs to check whether the available device such as laptop, PCs, printer, and mobile phone in the crime scene area, whether on sleep or off mode. If the device are in the off mode, do not turn it on because it will allow criminals to change the evidence contained in the device. The next step, the investigator can begin a searching for evidence. There are several places that allow investigators to obtain network evidence. First, file server. File server make it easier to store, secure, share data within an organization. The file server takes on the role of computer or server, storing and making data blobs available to client, and acting as central location for storing and sharing file across the network. They can be restricted to a single local area network, LAN, or be accessible through the internet. Second, DHCP log.
The any one time DHCP server log contain information about the system that will issue certain IP address by the server. During forensic examination, investigator can look at this log. Third, investigator can find network evidence in router. The most fundamental aspect of router forensic is gathering data from the device that can be used as evidence. The normal procedure entails executing show commands and gathering information such as log and network activity data. Network evidence could be found in firewalls. The purpose of firewalls is to effectively monitor the content of packets and determine whether or not to allow them, and hence they contain criminal interest log. Next is intrusion detection system, IDS. IDS logs typically include early data such as the identity that triggered alarm description. In addition, packet headers and payload may be found in the alert by a digital forensic investigator. These logs can be extracted from a file on the disk, a web GUI, and an email account, depending on the program be used. Furthermore, honeypots. In all honeypots, the IP address, timestamp, and internet protocol are captured because of the broadening definition of personal data indicated above. All of this should be considered personal data under the Data Protection Directive. In other way, is network evidence can be found by sniffer. Sniffers analyze data packet streams that pass between computers on the network as well as between network system and the greater internet. Last but not least is keylogger. Keyloggers are a sort of monitoring software that record a user's keystrokes. This keystroke logger, one of the oldest type by cyber threats, record the information you type in the website or application and send it to a third party.
So, attorneys with cyber law practice have become very familiar with network forensic, as it is one of the go-to tools for intrusion and breach detection. So, network forensics can involve retroactive analysis or live stream traffic monitoring. The volume of data collected can be enormous, so data analytics techniques are a must and are used heavily. It used to be the case that network forensic was seldom practiced. To reduce the need for storage hardware, few organizations had their network logging features turned on. Fewer still retain their logs long enough to be of value when investigators come calling. So practice has changed as companies have become more sophisticated and diligent about cyber security. So the first case is the theft of trade secrets in Apple company. So Xiaodang Zhang worked as an engineer for Apple's autonomous car division. He had been with the company 2.5 years, but then he announced that he would be resigning and returning to China. He told his manager that he would be working for an electric car manufacturer in China. The conversation left the manager suspicious. So the company's security started an investigation. They searched Zhang's 2 phones and laptop, and they were most alarmed because they revealed Zhang's network activity, and it consisted of bulk searches and targeted downloading copious page of information taken from the secret database of Apple company. So after the incident, Zhang was indicted for theft of trade secrets because he stole valuable information and secret database from the company for himself. The second case of my topic, which is past crime cases and its investigation regarding network. So the second case is regarding Adobe network security breach, which is dated back in October 2013 and have an impact of 153 million user records. So in early October 2013, Adobe reported that hackers had stolen almost 3 million encrypted customer credit card records and login data from undetermined number of user accounts. So days later, Adobe increased their estimate to include IDs and encrypted passwords for 38 million active users. So more than 150 million username and hashed password pairs taken from Adobe. So weeks of research showed that the hack had also exposed customer names, passwords, and debit and credit card information. So an agreement in 2015 called for Adobe to pay 1.1 million in legal fees and an undiscovered amount to users to settle claims of violating the Customer Records Act and its unfair business practice. So for the first and second case, there are solutions and opinion on how to handle the cases. So the first is having a good password policy. A good password guarantees the security of a company private information. Second is update regularly. Third is securing the router, and fourth, proper backing up of data in case of any data loss. And fifth is educating the employees about the safety and security of the company. And sixth is installing centralized firewalls, which will be ensuring that any data will not be lost and there will be no data theft that happens in the company. The third case and the final case which I will be telling today is regarding the Google attack which happened in 2017. This is one of the most popular attack, security and data theft attack that happen nowadays. It is attack DDoS attack. So on October 2016, October 2020, Google's Threat Analysis Group TAG posted a blog update concerning how the threats and threat actors are changing their security measures because of this threat. So the company snuck in a note in 2017 saying that our security reliability engineering team measured a record-breaking UDP amplification attack sourced out of several Chinese ISPs, which remains the largest bandwidth attack of which we are aware in this century. So the attacker used several networks to spoof 167 Mbps, which is millions of packets per second, to 180,000 exposed CLDAP, DNS and SMTP servers, which would then send large responses to the company. So this demonstrates the volumes a well-resourced attacker can achieve. So DDoS attacks happen almost frequently during the century. So there are ways to overcome DDoS attacks. DDoS attacks are a type of network security attack that happens nowadays. So the first is we should buy more bandwidth, and the second one is building redundancy into your infrastructure. Third is deploying anti-DDoS hardware and software models. And the last one is protecting your DNS servers.
Acts that can be imposed for cyber network criminal offences are Computer Crime Act 1997. Among the offences that allow this act to be used are under Laws of Malaysian Act 563, which is bracket B. He does not have the consent or exceeds any right or consent to access by him of the kind in question to the program or data from any person who is so entitled. Bracket 6. A reference in this act to any program or data held in a computer includes a reference to any program or data held in any removable storage medium which is for the time being in the computer. Bracket 7. For the purpose of this act, a modification of the content of any computer takes place if, by the operation of any function of the computer concerned or any other computer. Bracket 8. Any program or data held in the computer concerned is altered or erased.
The challenges in the network investigation is to first ensure that the network is adequate for the investigation needs. The networks must be supplied with an architecture that permits the research to be completely supported for a successful inquiry. The infrastructure must ensure that the required data is available for a true inquiry on a full investigation. Designing a network investigation infrastructure is a complex task due to the numerous possibilities that exist in how the design is done in the multiple space, such as data source, granularity in the data integrity, data as legal evidence, privacy issues, and data analysis challenges. Today, the investigation of electronic systems has undoubtedly been a huge success in the detection of cyber and computer-assisted crime, since relevant departments are emphasizing the need of being appropriate incident management capability to handle misuse of systems. Furthermore, the success of network investigation is, of course, indispensable to the exploration of an increasing number of academic researchers' effort to obtain new methods and techniques of forensic evidence in recent years. Although current finding, policy, and priority are unlikely to produce a sufficient fundamental on understanding of large and complex networks, most tools are capable of overcoming attacks, yet new attacks continue to evade the prevention tools without detection. So, investigation vary in scope and complexity. Investigators must be aware that any action performed on the computer system might affect the evidence integrity. For this reason, evidence should be retried and preserved by following the steps of identification, preservation, collection, examination, analysis, presentation, and incident responses. Finally, I hope that all the viewers will become familiar with common network technology and typically configuration after finishing this video.